Welcome back to my students. Uh, in this topic, we are going to see about inheritance basics using super, grading, and multi-level hierarchy. All these things we are going to cover in this. I hope that you may know about inheritance, right? So, what do you mean by inheritance? Inheritance is nothing, just inheriting the property from one base class to another child class. Whatever it may be, you may know that the real-world examples from your parents, you may inherit some properties like from your grandparents. Your parents may inherit some property, like you also may inherit some properties from your grandparents. Like so, there is a class which is called a super class. That class contains some properties, right? That properties can be inherited by the subclasses. So when the subclass has inherit from the superclasses, there is no need for redeclaration for the same variable in the child classes. So inheritance mainly concentrate on the reusability of the programming logics. Okay, so when you are performing the reusability, you can able to optimize the code so that it will reduce the use the reduced memory and use to reduce the execution time. All those things will be helpful to you to perform to perform the uh, optimized execution of your programming. Okay, so where in inheritance is just as we discussed, class can be inherited by another. Okay, which class is inherited, which is called superclass. The inheriting class is called subclass. Okay, these three things are very important. You just keep it in your mind. So the class which inherited is called a superclass, and the class which inheriting is called a subclass, right? So how we can able to perform the inheritance of one class by another class? So in order to perform the inheritance by one class, okay, so what you are going to do is, just by using the extend keyword, you are going to incorporate the definition of the class. Okay, let us let us see this example. So here I have created a class A, right, where I have two instance variable int I and j. Along with that instance variable, I have created one member function here, void show ij. Okay, this is the member function name. Within this member function, I just printed the statements, printed the variables I and j. Okay, system dot out I and j. Okay, let us see this. This is a base class. Okay, this does not inherit anything. The class can simply contain two instance variable and one member function. So in that member function, just printed those instance variable. That's it. Okay, so after that, look at here. Here I have created one class B which extends A. So what it means, the class B inherit the properties of class A. That means there is a virtual copy of these two instance variable and this member function over here. Okay, so according to our definition, we can able to say the B can able to access this instance variable of class A and the member function of class A. Okay, but you just think like this. How we can able to think at it? So we think like uh, virtually these two instance variable and this member function will be available within this class 2, class B also. But this is physically is not present, but virtually it is available. Just think like that, so that it will be easy to understand. Okay, so how many instance variables are here? Int k, there is only one instance variable. How many member functions are there? One, show k, and the another one is sum. There are two member functions, so one instance variable and two member function according to the physical definition. So according to our logic, our assumption, it's a virtual definition. How many virtual instance variable are here? There are three instance variable because it extends the class A. So these two instance variable copies also there available here, right? So int I, int j, int k, these three instance variable available here according to the virtual concepts. So like along with this show ij, there are three member functions are available within this, right? Could you able to understand this? Yeah, so inheriting the property means it inheriting the properties of one base class. This is the base class, this is the child class which extends the properties of A. That's why it's called the extends is keyword which is denote the inherited. Okay, that means the B class B is inherited the properties of class A. That is the meaning for this extend. Okay, so let's go for the next program. Okay, this is the main class. Okay, previous we have created two class, one is base class, another one is child class. Now we are creating the main class. The class name is simple inheritance. We are creating the main function here, right? And we have created object for both a class A and B. So class A and B, we are going to create an object A and B. So object reference variable for A is super object, reference variable for B is sub object. Okay, so for super object dot I equal to 10. So what is the instance variable here? I and j. So in order to call this I and j from the main class, what we can do, we need to call this variable by using the object. Okay, reference object. So sorry, reference variable. So reference variable here super ob dot I equal to 10, super ob dot j equal to 20. So we have assigned two values here for the I and j. So simply we are just printed the value system dot out dot println contents of super object. The super object show ij, we are just calling the member function by using this object. So when we are calling this member function by this object, this member function will be getting called and it will print the value of I and j. So we already declared the value of I and j as 10 and 20, so that the value will printed is 10 and 20. Later here we are creating the here we are creating the sub object, right? B sub object equal to new b of, so object is b, reference variable is sub ob. Okay, sub ob dot I equal to 7. Could able to get it here? Is there any variable for I, instance variable I and j? There is no instance variable like I and j, but how I can able to call by sub object? The object subo, sub ob is an object for this class B. Okay, suppose we trying to access the value instance variable I, but I is not here. So according to our logic, here it extends the property of A, so virtually the I and j is available here. Yes, so if I and j are available here virtually, we can able to access, right? That's why it's the process of accessing the I sub object dot I equal to 7, sub object dot j equal to 8, so that I and j are available virtually. So I have assigned two variables here. Okay, and sub object dot k equal to 9, so I have assigned the values. So contents of sub object I'm just printing as a statement. Okay, next sub object of show ij, we are just calling the function. So show ij function is available here only, it is not available here, right? Physically it is not available here. According to our inheritance extends concept, it is virtually available here, so that I can able to call sub object show ij from class B also. So that's why I have sub object dot show ij I have called. This call may move to the parent class A. Okay, so sub object show k, so I'm just calling the k value, and then system dot outer plus sum of values I have printed. Okay, so what it will be print, so sub object of ij 7 and 8 will be passed to, and sub object of k equal to 9, so that will be passed to here. Okay, that will pass to here second class. Okay, and then show k will print the k value, show ij will print the ij value 7 8 and k equal to 9, so completely sum value will be 24 will be getting printed. Okay, this is the concept of inheritance, so that according to our logic, for better understanding, you just try to keep it in mind. When there is an extends, physically the class contain this much of variables only, instance variable and this two member function only. According to the inheritance point of view, virtually the class contain these two instance variable along with the instance variable k, and this member function along with this two member functions, so that three member function, three instance variable are available here, so that we can able to call by the subclass object. Okay, so subclass object automatically moves to the parent class to refer the particular variable because of the inheritance property. Okay, so here I have mentioned one important note here. Although subclass includes all the members of its superclass, okay, as we said, here I and j is available automatically by virtually, right? By virtually I and j also available, right? So but it is for like that, but it cannot be access those member superclass that has been declared as private. So when it is declared as private ij, if it is a private int ij, so there is no access specifier mentioned here, that's why it is a public access specifier, right? So when the access specifier is declared here as private int ij, it cannot be acceptable, it cannot be accessed by the class B. Okay, so when you are declaring the when you are declaring the instance variable as private or declaring the member function as private, the member function or instance variable cannot be accessible in any other class. Within this class only it will be accessible, that scope only available, outside of the class scope will not be available, so that cannot be accessed. That's a note here I have mentioned. Even it derived from the even the child classes access some properties from the base class, but the base class instance variable or member functions access specifier is private, so it cannot be accessible by the subclass. So it can be accessible by some other mode, producted. When you are declared as a producted, it can be accessible by the child class. Okay, and one of the much more important thing is super keyword. The super keyword is nothing but the Java reference variable. As we are creating the reference variable here, super OB, like super keyword is also a reference variable which is virtually available, not physical available. You know not to give the thing. So whenever you are calling, so whenever you are inheriting the property from the base class in the child class, the child class automatically have a super keyword. So that means it is a reference variable. Super keyword is a reference variable. It automatically calls the immediate superclass. Okay, so what is the immediate superclass? So when class you look at here, class A, class B. The class A is a base class and class B extends from the A. So what is the immediate superclass of A? Here A is the immediate superclass for the B, right? That's why it's A directly depends to the B directly depends to the A. That's why it is called immediate superclass. If let us consider another class, class C. If class C is extends by the B, so what is the immediate superclass for B? C. The immediate superclass for C is B. Okay, so A is also C can able to derive the property from the A, because B is a inherited the property from the A. That's why it can, C also can able to access the data from ij and show ij member function. But A is not an immediate superclass. C is directly dependent to the B. That's why it's called immediate superclass. Okay, and here super keyword is just a Java reference variable which is used to refer immediate parent class. Okay, it is used to refer the immediate parent class. Whenever you are creating the instance for the subclass, the parent class is created implicitly, which is referred by the super reference variable. Okay, the super keyword mainly used for accessing the instance variable. It can used to access the method. It can access the constructor. Okay, it is first called superclass constructor, then it can access the superclass method according to the call which is defined. Okay, let us consider this superclass. Here there's a class animal, right? Okay, within this class animal I have give a variable string color equal to white. Okay, and secondly we have created a class dog which extends the animal. Okay, so string color equal to block. Within this class dog, I have mentioned string color is equal to black. So one more member function I have declared here, void print color. Within the print color, I just print out system.out.println of color. Just I have printed the color. Which color will be getting printed? The local instance variable color. This will be getting printed. So if I want to print this color, superclass color, how I can able to perform? So in order to access that, I have to create an object for animal. Right, the object will be used to call this color, but for that I can able to use the super keyword. Instead of creating the reference variable by using the object, I directly use the super keyword automatically directly refer to the base class. That's why we can simply use the super keyword. Super.color means it will calls the color of animal, so that it will print black and white. Could you able to understand this? So instead of creating the reference variable, you can directly use the super keyword. Super keyword is a reference variable that directly calls the immediate parent class. Okay, so this is the thing we can able to, like you can able to call this superclass method. Right, so look at here, the same one, class animal, that void eat is a member function. Class dog, there are three member functions are there, eat, bark and work. Within this work I called super.eatof. Super.eatof means this eat will be getting called. Right, could you able to understand which eat will be called? The base class eat will be getting called. That's why it printing eating and barking. Okay, like superclass constructor also be called. So simply you just call a super, it will automatically call to the constructor. Class animal is a member function, right? So it is constructor. A class name and member function name is similar, so it is called constructor. It is normal constructor. It does not have any parameters. So how we can able to call the constructor? We are just needed to create the object. When you are creating the object, the constructor will automatically called. Okay. Instead of creating the object, what we can do? Simply we put the super of. We just call the super class. So when we are called the super class, it automatically call the constructor of your base class. Okay. So the animal is created is automatically executed, then the dog is created is executed. Okay. So when there are things in super keyword, these are much important things in the super keyword. Okay. So super keyword is directly referred to your base class. Okay. So this is the thing we have considered in the inheritance. What do you mean by inheritance? Base class and child class. Base class inherited the property, and child class inheriting the property. And then we saw about how the inheritance will be getting performed. There are several type of inheritance also there. Okay. So Java does not support multiple inheritance. Those are the things we will discuss in the further class. Okay. Okay, thank you.